All right then. We back. We back here at Tony Smith Studio, and it's been a long time coming.
Mhm.
But we have finally got the one, the only Anthony Somerville.
Hello,
Anthony
everybody.
Somerville, what's up, man?
How's it going?
All right, new style.
Yes, sir.
Now, Anthony, do you remember how me and you first met?
I do.
How did we meet, Tony?
We met on a bus in Roseland.
Uh-huh.
That's when I was wearing big apple hats
Big
and high heel shoes, and you were scared. And for some reason, we became friends after that.
Well, Somerville, you got all of that. You was right about a lot of that stuff, especially the part about me being scared.
hmm
Everybody was scared of Somerville.
Well, I was scared myself. If you didn't act like he was bad, you could have got beat down. So I had to at least play the part.
Somerville, that day on the bus, it was a South Suburban bus.
It was 111th in Michigan.
And the bus it would turn on King Drive, and it would go all the way down there past Unity.
Right.
And there was a girl on the bus that I knew that went to Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Mother of Sorrows is what the real name is. And you came to me, you would say, Peters, because everybody used the last name. Peters, I want you to introduce me to some of these women you know. I'm like, okay, Mr. Somerville.
I told you it paid to be tough.
But Somerville, man, how did you end up being in the doctors though, man? Because I know we were good friends. Is that it?
Well, I think it was the neighborhood. You, me, Steve, Quinn, Coronado Cooper. All of us lived in the area.
Yeah, Tony Harris.
Tony Harris, right?
Yeah.
And he lived next door to Steve. So we were all close.
Yeah.
And I think there was a group out before us, and it might have been the, I don't know, was it the Disease Boys or Disease? They had their group going, and
Right.
we said we got to give them a little competition. And we did just that, and after that it seemed like it mushroomed. Everybody started coming out with groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, that was the best time of my life. I still have good memories of that, And a lot of that stuff that I was doing back then, I've taken into my, adulthood,
Mm-hmm.
Some negative, some positive, But it's all been a great time, though.
Yeah. Somerville, so what was your doctor name?
Dr. Pepper, the Miracle Stepper. And every time I tell somebody that, they laugh like as if I'm crazy. So yeah, Dr. Pepper, the Miracle Stepper.
You used to like to rhyme. And you would have little quirky statements like that. I remember you did something with the days of the week.
Sunday was fun day. No, wait a minute. Monday was fun day. Tuesday was refuse day. Wednesday was be friends day. Thursday was hers day. Friday was my day. Saturday was batter's day.
It was baseball season.
It was baseball season. I forgot what I said for Sunday.
Sunday and Monday.
Well, fun day. So maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, Tony.
And I'm crazy enough to still remember it. So.
Somerville, me and you were quite an item. We used to get around town pretty well, man. I mean, we were known all over the place.
Well, that's only because we had a car.
Yeah, well, you had a car.
Well, I had a car. You can go places.
Well, speaking of a car, Somerville, Dr. Pepper, the Miracle Stepper, when you say that you had a car,
yeah,
I disagree with that. You had a bunch of cars.
I did.
What was your problem, man? What's wrong with you?
I was insane, but I love cars. And to this day, I still love them. I'm what I call an enthusiast. Back then, the cars I had, it wasn't nothing to be enthused about, but I was just happy to have them.
Well, you had some that you put your signature on.
Well, that I did. It was almost country. So yeah, I did. You know, but that was my thing. You know.
Now, Tony, when it comes to the doctors, man, did you have like a favorite memory being a doctor? Anything like your
Actually, I enjoyed when we all was getting ready to go to the parties.
uh-huh.
You know, just to get together, get there, and I gotta say that just knowing all them women were gonna be there, you know, was a big plus. So I just had a good time knowing that we were gonna be there, and the music was great too. You know, and to this day, I'm still a house guy.
Well, speaking of music, do you have any favorite doctor songs? We used to dance to the music. You remember any favorite songs?
Was dog a donut?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the consensus.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody likes that one.
Yeah.
That was the big song that we did a great thing off. Didn't your parents ever come to chaperone? Did your mother ever come to one or something?
Well, if she did, I didn't pay no attention. You know, I don't believe she did, to tell the truth. Yeah.
What about Robert's 500? I think all of our parents, I thought, came to that and was helping out.
I'm pretty sure mine didn't.
Okay.
You know.
Well, God bless them, man. I loved your parents. It was just like me having an extra set of parents, man.
Yeah, they were actually parents to a lot of folks. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had a business, and so people came in, and my father, you know, bless his heart, he took care of a lot of folks, you know, that just didn't have. So yeah, he was there to a lot of folks.
Those Somerville Food and Liquors, boy. I that was one of my first jobs, was working at that liquor store. When it first opened, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We had the whole neighborhood. Me and you, we had all those little girls going crazy coming to that store.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they didn't have nowhere else to go, so I guess they had to be crazy about us. You know, even in there, it was a good time. You know, I had when I was young, I had fun. My father worked the hell out of me. You know, I mean, I'm surprised I was able to, you know, get out of there to go to a party or do any of that. But
well,
I managed.
You sure didn't seem like you didn't miss out on nothing.
Well, 9 out of 10, I was sneaking past him. You know.
You know, Somerville, we were known for dancing, you know, giving parties, and, you know, being nice guys and stuff. In my humble opinion, that's what I remember, you know, about us influencing Mendel as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Darian and I, we joke about how it just seemed like overnight, the school, Mendel might have been a bunch of nerdy guys, but then once the Mendel experience took off, all these guys became like GQ, and they changed their whole attitude. The girls that were looking for a Mendel man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mendel men are gentlemen, you know, and so us going to Mendel, that's really where all the doctors went to, the same school.
Right.
Rory's the only one that went to another school.
Right.
St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
But us being those type of guys, when you would go out in the world, if I wasn't around,
Okay.
you know, what would people say? How would you get treated, man?
I'm gonna tell you, most times the first thing they thought about, they didn't think about no nerds and all they thought about was the Mendel parties. You know, I mean, even today, you know, if I mention the school, you know, the first thing they think about is the parties we gave, you know. They just enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about nerds, I can only remember about 10 of them. You know, rest of us, I don't think we was all that bright. We did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, the nerds were disciplined.
Yeah,
you know, they and that's the difference between an A and an F is discipline. So they studied and we didn't, but we did enough. You know, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know I wasn't the greatest. So I was in the top 3. I was a C student. A, B, C.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still think back and wonder when did I have time to study and pass a test. You know, I still think about that sometimes. You know, but it worked out, you know.
Man, we used to make some trips. Your father had a deuce and a quarter,
Yeah,
and that was your car for a long time.
yeah.
And then when that car went down, it was just open season, man. You had a new car. It seemed like every week, man.
Well, back then you could get a car.
Yeah.
You could get, if it broke down, you could take it to a lot and trade it in, and they'll give you another one. If you didn't pay for it, you know, I mean, they may come and get it. All you needed was $500 back then to get another car.
Okay.
You know, and with me, you go to the auto store and get racing stripes.
Oh, man.
Put them on. And so I think it was a little easier back then, you know, to get a car. And I just, maybe, I don't know, I don't think I'm any smarter than anybody else, but I kind of figured out, you know, how to maneuver, you know.
When you was coming up with your doctor name, how did you come up with Dr. Pepper?
I was drinking a pop. And I like Dr. Pepper.
That's it, man. You know what I'm
As simple as that. I like Dr. Pepper.
Okay. Because that's an awesome doctor name, man. I love
Yeah.
that name, man.
Well, I thought Gannon.
Yeah.
You know, now Spumoni, that kind of threw me for a loop, but
But you know what my favorite was?
Kildare.
Dr. Jekyll.
I like that. I wish I had came up with that one.
Yeah, that was Tony Harrison.
Yeah, Yeah, he came up with a good one.
Mm-hmm. What about pluggers? You got any favorite pluggers you can remember? Because pluggers were a big part of our.
Well, Jamie was good, but so was Warren.
Yeah.
You know, they two different styles, but they were both just, it was art. You know,
Yeah.
and see, I'm even to today, I love art. You know, if it's creative,
mm-hmm.
and I can see that a person's, you know, he had to use his mind to create something like that. You know, I think Jamie and Warren, you know, all of their stuff was good to me.
Yeah. Jamie drew like 99% of our pluggers.
Mm-hmm.
But Warren is the only person that ever drew a plugger for the doctors that wasn't Jamie. And it was for this party that we had at the Burning Spear.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a GQ doctor on the cover. It was a blue plugger, and I hope we can find it. And we were giving away roses to the first 50 ladies that got there. And we danced that night. And well, was it that night or Ebony Gents gave a party? And we blew it that night. We had that was our we blew it that night. We didn't do anything. And we kind of changed the way we were. We went from like everybody dancing to like 4 people dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you weren't one of the 4 people at the end. But I remember, I don't know if you remember this or not, but after that party, we had a big meeting in Tony's basement.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about, well, look, from now on, we're just going to have the 4 of us dancing, me, Kildare, Chico, and Rory by that time.
Okay.
But everybody else had a choice. They could stay or they could take the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they would leave. Do you remember what you did?
Well, if I look back with the way I danced, I probably took the money.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I probably took the money.
Yeah, man. A couple of brothers took the money.
Yeah.
And you know, speaking of taking the money, we never really, I don't think we focused on making money, you know, as a group. We even though we had to give parties and stuff, it wasn't like a business, like, what did we do? We weren't counting numbers like that.
Well, I know I wasn't.
It just happened to me.
I know I wasn't. I was all about the fun.
Exactly. That's what
I mean, the money, I mean, you break it up between 8 and 9 guys. I mean, how much money is it? I already had a job.
There you go.
So the money for me, that wasn't the issue, you know.
But you know what was shocking to me, man? The secretaries.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Yuta, and she said that when their group broke up, man, each one of them got like $1,500, $2,000 a piece.
15, how
I'm
much?
like, what?
Well, it sounded like they were great managers.
Man, come on, what the heck were we doing?
Not managing. You know.
Man, I was like, what do we, I mean, really? They got, man, so that era created a lot of like social clubs.
Mm-hmm.
The secretaries, the ebony gents.
The nurses.
Everybody was,
Yeah.
we started like, people began like business. They would have like their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Yuta said her dad stepped in
Mm-hmm.
and helped them start a bank account. And
Well, that's what I'm saying, managing.
They had all the fruits of their labor, you know, where we were like you said, we're more just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Good, clean fun.
Yeah.
So you and I, we graduated, we went to Mendel for 4 years together. We lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think that is why the doctors, because we were like the south side, you know, kind of.
I think our personalities mesh too, you know. And even the guys that didn't live in the neighborhood that was a part of it. Sometimes you just, you know, you just mesh, you know, some, you know, spirits, you know, they come together.
Those couple of dances we did though, man, that operation, we brought the house down now. We did our share of practice. You remember us practicing like crazy or?
Yeah, I remember the energy I had back then, you know. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember the practices. Some of that stuff, I mean, I gotta admit, I went by a friend's house.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of friends over there, and they wanted to see some of those steps, you know. Of course, everybody was drinking.
Yeah, man.
And I tried to do it. And it just shows what kind of shape and how young I was back then, because they had to help me up, you know. But it was
it's not for the faint of heart.
It wasn't for the faint of heart. I mean, back then it was youth, man.
Yeah.
You know.
We were young. We were
energetic,
in shape, and we could a lot more flexible.
Yeah. Flexible, please.
Man. Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem getting out this chair.
But the Mendel experience, it still casts a bright shadow even today in 2020. You know, Mendel closed in 1988. But like you said, the history of the school, people remember the bi-levels. You know, it was an academic hallmark. It was an athletic hallmark.
I'm just happy to be able to ride past it when I want to and see it.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't say that, you know. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, I can 111th and King Drive. I mean, I drive past it every now and then.
Yeah. We lost a lot of people, man, and we're still here. Do you remember Somerville? Speaking of losing people, Chicago having a reputation nowadays for being violent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk about what it was like, you know, in high school, being a doctor, going to these parties, and the violence or the
That's easy.
absence of violence.
We could go to a club, a party, or wherever we were going, and go to Leon's on 83rd and Cottage Grove at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we didn't worry about if we were going to get robbed or any of that, man. You know, I mean, you had some bad guys out there, but I mean, it's nothing like it is now. I mean, I don't think everybody was carrying a gun back then. Everybody was about to party, you know. And most people at that time in the morning was leaving some type of party like that, you know. So, I mean, I think the violence now, I mean, you couldn't do what we did back then now.
Right.
They don't even have spots like that, you know. And if you do hear about them, you hear about something happening in the parking lot. So, no, it was a big difference. I feel blessed to be born during that time, you know, that I was, and the high school I went to, people I met, you know. All of that, you know, means a lot to me, and I'm still here. And I was out at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I didn't get home at 10, you know. But, you know, I wasn't worried about anything happening to me.
Yeah. You know, I think that it's missing, you know, today. I don't know if, like you said, I doubt if it can be duplicated today. Because everything was in its place. I mean, if I didn't go to Mendel, if you didn't go to Mendel, you know, if Darian transferred to Mendel, he was
Mhm.
going to another school. You know,
Mhm.
all those stars had to line up,
Mhm.
you know, for everything to end up the way it did. I always like to think that Mendel wouldn't have happened like it did if it wasn't for us. You know, because I didn't.
I I don't know about that. I think it was a collective.
Okay.
I mean, eight guys didn't create that type of scenario.
Hmm.
It was a conglomerate. It was a group. It was a whole bunch of stars coming together. We were just part of that system. You know, that's all it was. You know, a lot of talent came out of it. You know, a lot of
Well,
talent that you even hear about. You know.
well, let's keep going because I'm gonna push back a little bit because I think that if you look at it, you remember you were saying everybody had a social club. Everybody started wearing T-shirts, you know. But my biggest clue that we were the impetus behind that whole Mendel experience is they it was a dance named after our school. They called the dance the Mendel. So when you say the Mendel, that's basically a testament to us having those challenges and things, dancing every Saturday. And Friday we would go there to dance. Everybody would go to Mendel. They'd wear their T-shirts and stuff, and we compete against each other.
And that's where the collective comes in. I mean, it was a bunch of groups in Mendel and that during that time that were dancing.
Mm.
And you had other people coming to the school to see all of those groups.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where the name, maybe the dance the Mendel came from. If they had a called a dance the doctors,
Hmm.
then I probably could have, you know. But I think that you know everybody played a part, man.
No, okay, I'll give you
Mhm.
that. I just wanted for clarification
Mhm.
sake, you did mention the Baziz boys earlier,
Mhm.
and that is the truth.
Mhm.
The Baziz boys, that's how we got our name.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, we got our name because so they were there, they were around, and they had an image. They wore military gear. That was their style, you know.
Mhm.
But I still kind of say like we kind of motivated a lot of that people coming out and doing their thing. You
I
know.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, because that's just the way I remember it. You know.
Mhm.
Yep. But I love our school. I love our history. Um, Somerville, do you remember? We gave a lot of parties. We gave sock hops.
Mhm.
And we would give like a basketball game and a party. Do
Mhm.
you remember the one time we gave a basketball game and I ran the wrong way? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh man,
Sounds more like something I would do.
no, I'm glad you don't remember
Yeah.
that.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh man, Somerville. I ran the wrong way, man, and almost scored on the other
Mm.
basket, man. I couldn't live it down. You got mad.
No, well, it should be something you should be trying to forget. Matter of fact, doing something like that wouldn't have qualified you to play on any team.
Man,
You know,
I was called wrong way Bob for so many
I don't
man.
remember none of that.
Oh my, well, thank goodness. Then.
Yeah,
All right, good. You don't remember.
I don't remember.
Maybe we can edit this part out.
No, this is the one thing we keeping in. No, if anything, you know, there's some other stuff you can edit out, but not this.
Okay, okay. Let me see. I can't think of anything else, man. Oh, Somerville. Do you remember? Uh, this was early on. You know, we were just, making our noise. And one day at school, Father Dodge called everybody to the principal's office.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Somerville, Robert Peters, Darren Davis. Will all of you come to the principal's office at lunchtime?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the school, in my class, they was like, man, that's the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So we all thought we were in trouble. Do you remember that day?
I don't remember that day. I'm surprised I was there.
Okay. Well, what happened was when they called us to the principal's office, I thought we was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted us to give a party at Mendel. The Father Gavin,
Mm-hmm.
the principal, he said, "You guys are the doctors, right? You want to give a party?"
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, "Oh, okay, cool. We thought we were in trouble. All right." So we were like, "Okay, you want us to give a party?" But guess what? We said, "Well, we got to go home. We got to ask our mother."
Mm-hmm. Were we freshies?
No, it was like 75, maybe 76.
Okay.
We probably
Sophomore
sophomores.
juniors, yeah.
But we had to go home and ask our mother.
Mm-hmm.
See, we couldn't just, do what we wanted to do. We had to get permission to do stuff.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, shoot, they sacrificed a lot. So, which tells me they cared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they was due that type of respect.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
So I can understand. You know, there's a lot of stuff I remember. And there's a lot of stuff I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one thing I can believe. I know I had to do
Mm-hmm.
if I was doing anything. You know. So.
Well, man, Somerville, I'm so glad that we finally got you on camera, and I know you probably haven't had a lot of time to think about this,
Mm-hmm.
but, in 2020, you family, man, you got kids, you done worked post office, you done moved around, you've done a lot of things. In 2020, what would you like to say to people to let them know about Dr. Pepper, the Miracle Stepper?
About me,
Yes.
I can tell you that I had a great time when I was younger. Went through my share of difficulties, taught me a whole lot, and I can tell you right now I'm having a great time.
Okay.
And I'm glad to be on the other side of the dirt. So I'm happy, and I wish that for everybody.
Okay.
And I say that whatever you doing or whatever you want to do, as long as it makes you happy, don't worry about what else anybody else is talking about. If it makes you happy and you doing it, do it.
Okay. All right then, man. Well, Somerville, I guess it's time to sign out, man.
I guess it is.
This is Dr. Gannon.
And this is
Signing
Dr.
out.
Pepper signing out.
All right, Dr. Pepper.